Good evening, everyone. We're going to get the meeting started for January 20th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Regular board meeting. Secretary, call the roll, please.
Valencia.
Here.
Cifuentes.
Here.
Reyes.
Here.
Lache.
Here.
Olivas.
Here.
Moreno.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, well, we have one public speaker. David Quiros. And before you start, we do have a 3-minute time limit and respect the privacy of our staff and students.
Absolutely.
Feel free to start.
Sure. Good evening. My name is David Quiros, and I'm the regional manager with an exciting initiative in Illinois called Birth to 5 Illinois. Birth to 5 Illinois works locally to build a stronger, more inclusive and equitable early childhood system that puts the family stories at the center of policy and decision making. This system was created across the entire state to better understand how to help families with young children thrive in their communities. We listen to families and document their challenges and successes across accessing childcare and early education opportunities. And some of those caregivers that we've been talking to are residents of the school district. Essentially, we listen, we ask questions, and we share back with both sides. Locally and across the state, we see programs and services that don't have nearly enough preschool, childcare, or early intervention openings for children. We share wants and needs from families to the leadership who can bring about change. Some of these include our Regional Office of Education, as well as local and state elected officials. Over the past 2 years, Birth to 5 Illinois' regional team has published an early childhood regional needs assessment, a mental and behavioral health report, and an action plan that not only outline some of the challenges within our local early childhood system, but more importantly, make recommendations and outline action steps for how we can better support children throughout Aurora. Our Birth to 5 Illinois team is currently working with providers, local community leaders, libraries, and families to address the recommendations that they've talked to us about. Their continued feedback and input serve as a roadmap for our work. And we also work with our funders, the Illinois State Board of Education, we look forward to the new Department of Early Childhood that will be encompassing several existing programs under this new state department starting this summer. Finally, we want to engage with school districts to let them know the importance and the critical role that they play in community building in regards to parents and caregivers looking to start families, looking to grow their families. A lot of families looking only not at academic successes, but also where they can access early learning and care opportunities for their children. I'd invite you to take a look at our reports and the information we've gathered on our website, and I'm happy to leave some materials. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. All right, moving on to communications from the superintendent, Dr. Halverson.
Good evening, Board President Cifuentes, members of the board. This evening, we've got a couple updates. The first thing we have is we have Elizabeth with our student board member report. So if Elizabeth could come up with our student board member report, we'd be great. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Good evening, board. I hope everyone had a relaxing break and had time to spend the holidays with their loved ones. After the break, our students had a week to prepare for finals, which took place on the 9th and 13th of January. The freshman class council hosted a cocoa and cram on the 12th to help with last-minute studying. They had teachers of all subjects available for questions, and of course, there was hot cocoa for all to enjoy. We've officially made it a week into the second semester. Our senior class council has planned a special event called Senior Sunrise for our seniors to celebrate their final semester in high school. It'll take place tomorrow at 7:45 a.m., and they'll be showing Ratatouille with an assortment of snacks. On January 15th, our Bridging the Gap students welcomed a group of students who came all the way from St. Teresa's Youth Center in Belfast, Ireland, for a day of cultural exchange and leadership activities. Students shared experiences about their schools and communities, participated in presentations, service projects, and team building sessions led by East Aurora students and staff leaders. Both groups spent this weekend at the Sebring Goodman Teen Institute in Bloomington, Normal. Our boys and girls wrestling teams have been on a roll in the last month. Both teams have won against conference competitor Larkin High School right before the break, and both teams had very successful tournaments over the break. The boys placed second at the Glenbard South Varsity Tournament, and the girls placed first at the Curie Queen of Mayhem Tournament and the Batavia Invitational. Senior night took place on the 14th against Streamwood, and of course, both teams won, with the girls having a score of 84-0. The girls are on their way to their fourth Upstate 8 Conference championship title. Our cheer team placed seventh at the ICCA 2026 Championships, which is a state level competition. And tomorrow we're hosting the Upstate 8 Cheer Conference Championships. The dance team recently became an IDTA state qualifier, placing fourth out of 50 teams. The boys basketball team had a great start to their break with a close victory against Bartlett on the 19th of December. Over the break, they had the East Aurora Holiday Tournament, at which they placed third overall. Last Friday, they had another victory against Larkin with a score of 70-63. January 9th was our crosstown game with West, and unfortunately, we didn't win, but we'll have a shot at redemption on the 5th of February, which will also have pizza available for all student spectators. I want to give a big congratulations to all our winter sports and the efforts made by our students and coaches to accomplish great things. Thank you.
Next, we have our community relations report with Ms. Brittany Walker.
Good evening, everyone. All right, so first I want to start off, as you can probably see, we have an increase of students here from East Aurora High School. The Illinois State Assistance Commission every year does an Illinois State Scholars Program. So these are for high academic achieving students and great test scores. We had 37 students. Half of them, are here present, but other half were probably working or have some other commitments because these are very involved students. Some of those scores that Elizabeth just presented, I've seen some of these students at games. So if you're a student athlete, raise your hand. I saw several of you at some of your senior nights, but I will go ahead without further ado, list their names. I'm going to have them stand in place, and then we'll have them all come up at the end for a picture together. So please stand when I call your name. Ninel Alvarez, Jose Arredondo, Miriam Calzada, Angel Camacho, Alejandro Cantarero, Edgar Cantusalas, Vianney Castaneda, Elizabeth Corral Moreno, Lilia Del Toro, Ivan Escobedo, Elena Fitoma, Samantha Gamino, Kayla Garcia, Diego Gonzalez Trejo, Urim Horta, Zian Laliwala, Giancarlo Ledesma, Andrew Lee, Kathy Madera, Fernando Mancinas, Raquel Martinez, Sergio Martinez, Brian Navarez, Angel Nunez, Nicole Olivo, Ariana Overstreet Vinette, Jasmine Pina, Mateos Ramirez, Guadalupe Reyes Vera, Ricardo Rios, Raul Rodriguez, Juan Sosa, Dariana Valerio, Odalis Velasquez, Joanna Villagomez, Brian Kike, Giselle Zaragoza. Can we have a round of applause for all of our students? They're not going to be able to shake all your hands. We'll do 2 rows, taller, preferably in the back. If you're just a little bit shorter in the front, please. And we'll try to see the board in the back. I'm gonna have you all come all the way over for me. Perfect. Can I have you come over too for me, please? You two, both of you on the end. Board, stand on your toes.
No worries, come on up.
Parents, please come. Family. Thank you, guys. Smile like you're happy to be done with your first semester finals. One more round of applause for all of our students.
These are the remaining awards.
Congratulations again to all our state scholars. We know you guys probably want to get home and study or you're involved in a lot of things. So we'll pause real quick. Please feel free to take off. You're more than welcome to stay, but we'll pause real quick so you guys can get home for the evening. So thanks again for coming out. Congratulations and thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
And as our students transition out, we do have a lot of seats up front here. So if anybody wants to move up front for a better vantage point, please feel free. Got one more video, right? Yeah. Hold on. We'll just once we get set. One more. And we'll turn it back over to Ms. Walker.
All right. So just before winter break, students from across several career and technical education programs came together for a unique student-led learning experience rooted in collaboration and exploration. This cross-program event gave students the opportunity to showcase their talents while learning directly from their peers on other CTE pathways. Programs represented included our industrial technology, welding, automotive, construction, and woods. Using a think, pair, share model, students led presentations, demonstrated techniques, and guided their peers in hands-on activities. Programs, I lost my spot. Construction students spent time learning from their welding peers, while others explored skills and tools outside of their primary program areas. Often, many of them did this for the first time. So faculty members provided structure and support, and definitely stepped back to allow the students the opportunity to lead, become mentors and collaborators for their peers. This approach empowered students to communicate their knowledge clearly, ask thoughtful questions, and learn through doing. Experiences like these help students build confidence, expand their skill sets, and gain broader understanding of how different trades connect in real-world settings. Cross-CTE collaborations encourage curiosity, teamwork, and innovation, key skills that prepare students for both career and post-secondary success. This event reflects the strength of our career and technical programs, and is powerful learning that is happening with our students, and they are trusted to lead, teach, and learn from one another. So there's a quick video. I got to spend a day behind the protected welding curtain and, and got to see people, the students tinker with toys and do fun things. So I love when I get those opportunities to kind of see what's happening in our classroom. And here's just a quick little video to show what happened. So again, it was a very fun day. I just want to say if any of our East Aurora High School staff from these programs is present, if you can please stand and be recognized. And thank you for letting me be in your rooms. He's holding it down for the whole team, but thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Greatly appreciate it. Something great to celebrate there. Next, we're going to move on to C1, which is our School Improvement Day highlights from our January 12th School Improvement Day. We hosted an Institute Day on January 12th, where we spent time coming back together around what matters most, cultural belonging. We had a keynote by Phil Bodie, where he focused on the importance of relationships and how the tiny moments matter. In the feedback, many staff shared how meaningful it was to see the district's continued commitment and the positive shifts in our culture. The overarching theme in the evaluation by all was that it was a great way to start back after winter break, with several noting it was the best keynote the district has offered in years. We also hosted an elementary literacy Amira training. This is a benchmark platform we purchased with our English and Spanish language arts program. Staff shared in their evaluation that the session was informative and very helpful. Additional sessions focused on restorative practices and cultural sensitivity. In the feedback, staff shared they appreciated the hands-on activities and reflection. One staff member shared that the learning opened their eyes to new ways of thinking and reinforced the idea that culture and connection shape everything we do, especially how we support our students, respond to behavior, and partner with our community. Our next major professional development event will be on February 27th. It's a countywide Institute Day, and we have some great sessions planned for our staff on that day. So that's a little bit of an overview of the School Improvement Day on January 12th. Next, I'd like to kick it over to Mr. Allen for our buildings and grounds positions. This was some additional positions that we wanted to make sure we had the opportunity to bring forward to the board in the superintendent report so we can get this on for action to fill these important roles. And once again, this comes out of the fact that we were able to move away from some of our outside contracts and our outside vendors, and we want to bring some of this work back in-house. Mr. Allen?
Yes, B&G committee, I think in October, we were talking about other contracts we had for maintenance of HVAC equipment and things like that, the overall cost of it. Working with the B&G maintenance department, we spoke more about the things we could do in-house and how we could probably do an equal, if not better job in-house maintaining some of these equipments and still carrying a small maintenance plan on some of the other large chillers that are a little bit more complicated. We've been trying to get the positions posted, so this is what we've come tonight to hopefully have them drop down so we can get immediate action. We want to get these people trained and hired before we get to the spring and summer when we start having to work on a lot of these units again for the time of year. And we want to find good candidates to fill that position. We want to try to get them as fast as possible to get them onboarded. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer about those.
No questions on my end. I know that that's something that we brought up, so I'm good.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Allen. Next, moving down to C3, Student Services Parent Group. I'm going to have Mrs. Laura Ehrenbaugh come up to highlight. We had our very first Student Services Parent Group, which went tremendous just last week. So Ms. Ehrenbaugh is going to provide some highlights for that.
Hello, good evening. On January 14th, Student Services hosted our first parent group meeting at the Rec Center. The group was open to all families who have a child with an IEP or a 504. Families were invited through a direct email communication, and we also shared the information through our district social media channels to broaden that outreach. The focus of this first meeting was really twofold. First, we wanted to clearly establish the purpose and vision for the parent group, creating a space for families to connect, learn, and feel supported. Second, we were fortunate to have Shanita Jones from the Illinois SLD Project join us. She provided an overview of how families can effectively advocate for their children throughout the IEP and 504 process. We provided food, and attendance was strong for our first meeting, with approximately 55 parents in attendance. Families were engaged, asked thoughtful questions, and shared positive feedback, both about the content and then the opportunity to come together and connect. We're currently using that feedback to guide our planning, and our next parent group is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, March 11th. I'd be happy to answer any questions the board may have. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Next, we're going to drop down to C4, which is the motion to approve the middle school football program. Could we have the PowerPoint put up there? Thank you very much. So as I discussed earlier with the board this year, we haven't had tackle football in the middle school for some years now. We have had flag football, but looking at continuing to build out our athletic programs at the younger ages and build some connections there, we really want to focus on trying to build these youth programs out, and we wanted to start with the football program here. Some of the purposes and overview for that is it would enhance student engagement. So gets our kids more engaged and more bought in the middle school perspectives. It'd be another athletic opportunity for our students right now. And there's a gap there. There is flag football, but a lot of our students desire to play tackle football in high school and have limited exposure. It would allow us to continue with community collaboration, potentially working with the Tiny Tomcats to make sure we have that feeder program going all the way up to middle school. And then at the middle school level, it would really allow our coaches to drill down and provide some of the guidance needed so the students start to learn the plays, start to learn what it is to be a Tomcat on the football field. Next slide, please. Looking at some of the benefits for our students and our athletes, it definitely has academic benefits. When students are involved in athletics, they definitely perform better because they're ready, they're prepared, they have other goals outside of the academic side there. Social skills and development, football is a great team sport, provides the opportunity for individuals to collaborate, work together. There's definitely physical health advantages, just like there are with any other sport. And it continues to really get that district and community impact. We know that our students need buy-in at the younger ages to stay involved, to find the things that they love. This is another opportunity for us to foster that. Next slide, please. We would look to continue to build partnerships and involvement. We'd look for that community engagement being very important there. Like I said, connecting with the Tiny Tomcats at the younger age level and looking to build out the middle school programming further. Look for partnership development. It would provide us the opportunity, this is an important one, for in-district coaching and volunteer opportunities. So like I said, we could really start to build out some of the processes for East Aurora High School football. And in the end, it's not about the winning and losing, but getting our kids to where they can compete at a higher level and start to build out those opportunities a little bit earlier. It also will provide the opportunity for community events. Next slide, please. Looking at the structure, the safety, and the timeline, program structure, that we had the heads-up tackling training and meet all of the ISB requirements. We'd also make sure that we had all the safety protocols in place and make sure that we have updated equipment, as well as making sure that our helmets are certified. Thank you, Mike. That's the word I was looking for. Appreciate it. The implementation timeline we'd be looking for right now would be getting the program up and going for the summer of 2026. We're able to get some summer camps going. Next slide, please. Once again, we touched on these a little bit earlier. We can skip to the next slide as well. The next steps for approval would be to see what questions the Board of Education has, seek the approval this evening, so that way we're able to move forward with beginning to plan that. One of the important things is when we look at scheduling with other neighboring districts, whether it's Batavia, West Aurora, Yorkville, they're getting to the point where they're building their schedules out now. This would allow us, like I said earlier, to have that scheme, the program and coaching philosophy in there, as well as the programs and drills. We also would next step gauge interest level. Right now, we look at it being a one middle school program for all of our middle schools, hosted at one of our middle school sites, and we'd have a JV and varsity program. So you'd have typically a lot of times JV would be 6th and 7th graders, where varsity would be 8th graders, but we do have that ability to move in and out a little bit there as the students' talent and exposure kind of goes through there as well. We also would look at our coaching interest forms, look at getting summer camp opportunities provided, and then beginning to order equipment as well. Some of the initial numbers when we looked at some of the equipment, we'd probably be around $6,000 for equipment right now for some of the helmets, pads, et cetera, at that point in time. And then we'd have to expand some opportunities as well. We need some new tackling sleds at the middle school level, or replacing our high school ones and taking the high school ones and dropping them down to the middle school level. But I think it's a great opportunity for our students. It's one of the opportunities we've talked about, and it's kind of a preemptor to next summer when we start to have some of those further dialogues around how we can develop our youth programming, youth artistic, and youth advanced academic opportunities to really get that buy-in at the younger levels. So that's kind of the proposal we have for you this evening as a board. I wanted to see if there were any questions.
No, I think for me it was just I had a question here about the budget and what was needed. Do we have an actual more itemized on what is really needed, or is we don't have any?
It would be driven by numbers, our board vice president Levis. So once we had the numbers, we'd have a better idea, but we definitely can come back with not to exceed before purchasing anything for sure. We would definitely want the board's input on that.
Dr. Halverson, I have a question.
Yes.
So I know how you were talking about varsity and JV. So just making a whole, like every middle school has a team, but like building it off like the high school levels.
We would start, great question, board member Reyno. We would start with one team. So it'd be one team for Cowherd, Simmons, Waldo, and Fred Rogers Magnet all combined into one. So there's going to be some logistics with transportation, but it would be one team to start with. If it came out where we had crazy interest and we had to do multiple teams, we would look to do that. But we want to start small and really build it up there. The JV and varsity would be 6th and 7th graders would typically be your JV. That's how it's kind of associated with a lot of the neighboring schools in the area. And then 8th grade would be your varsity, but it would give you the opportunity. Let's say you've got a really talented 7th grader that should be playing at the varsity level. They could play on the 8th grade team. If you had an 8th grader who maybe needs some more development and you're concerned about the safety aspect, you could have them work down at the JV level at that
Okay,
point.
that's
So
cool.
provide-
Yeah, I remember how it used to be 6 and 7 combined, and then they had an 8th grade team. So no, that's a cool
So
setup.
the goal would be that we'd get this going for next year and then look to expand that as we grow the numbers. But we want to start small and really build something that's successful
For
at
sure.
that point in time.
And who's gonna be in charge of getting I know you mentioned concussions and the helmets. Is
Yeah.
that like
It would still be led. We'd have the high school athletic director take the lead on it, but work with the middle school athletic directors
Okay.
as well. So we'd really work through that. I had a initial meeting with the high school athletic director, the head football coach, and a couple of the middle school coaches who have coached for years, just to talk about kind of some of those very things. And we kind of viewed it as the athletic department running it initially there, and then working with the middle school ADs as well. And we wouldn't, right now, when you're looking at it, we have a lot of stipends built in for flag football. We wouldn't be looking at adding additional stipends. We'd look to reallocate at that point in time and work together with our union leadership to have further dialogue around that.
For sure.
Great questions. Any other questions from any other board members?
Yeah, do we have a feel at all for what the interest is from students, parents?
Yeah, I think there's definitely an interest. Some of the middle school coaches have started to kind of put it out there, not in a very formal manner, but just to start to have some of that dialogue. There's a lot of kids who are playing flag that would stay with flag. There's a lot of kids that are playing flag that said they would come over. We definitely would be able to fill both teams the first year with what the interest we've had so far, but we don't want to over program and then not have enough kids at the school. So that's why we're starting with one site. Good question. Any other questions?
All right, with no other questions, we'll move on. Motion to approve the middle school football program.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Secretary, call the roll, please.
Yes.
Cefuentes.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Olivas.
Yes.
Lache.
Yes.
Reyes.
Yes.
Moreno.
Yes.
Thank you. And our next agenda item and final one under the communications from the superintendent is C5, Learning and Leadership Improvement Plan presentation. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Simpson, who's going to bring his team up for the presentation for us this evening. Once again, this is a continuation of what we started earlier. We've already had finance, curriculum instruction and assessment, and next we're going to learning and leadership and learning.
All right, good evening, Board of Education. Dr. Halverson, thank you for giving us the opportunity to present this evening. So we are going to present our continuous improvement plan from the Learning and Leadership Department. I'm obviously Jonathan Simpson, the Associate Superintendent for Learning and Leadership, and I have Mrs. Rosary Horn, our Executive Director of Early Learning, Dr. Luis Gonzalez, our Executive Director for Elementary, and Dr. Jennifer Van Duzen for our Director of, Dr. Gonzalez, Director of Elementary, Dr. Van Duzen, Executive Director of Secondary. So this year, under our continuous improvement model, we did begin by drafting our goals over the summer. We do have in total 7 goals that were drafted this year, and these slides outline those Learning and Leadership Department goals for the 25-26 school year, and how this work is directly aligned to our District 131 strategic plan. Our focus is grounded in our 3 core priorities, which is culture of belonging, more than typical growth, and community partnerships. These priorities guide how we support schools, develop our leaders, strengthen systems across our district, and they are intentionally aligned to our 4 pillars of our strategic plan as well, with equity, operational excellence, collaborative leadership, and student achievement. Our goals begin with ensuring a strong start to the school year. Building on a successful launch, our work then focuses on strengthening systems of continuous improvement, differentiating supports based on school needs, enhancing community partnerships, deepening collaborative leadership across district departments, and investing in leadership capacity and equity to drive measurable improvement in student outcomes.
Good evening. Our first department goal is well connected to our district goal to foster a culture for belonging. So we want all of our students to walk into our schools and experience a genuine excitement for learning, as well as a warm and welcoming environment. To start the year, our principals planned fun opening day celebrations with bands, mariachi music, performances to kick off the year on a positive note. And so these celebrations built the school spirit and connection that keeps students engaged throughout the year. We also prioritize operational readiness. So we put systems in place to ensure that all of our buildings opened successfully and classrooms were ready for learning. We revised and shared a school readiness checklist to help our principals prioritize key operational tasks, including 100% registration compliance for the first day of school, accurate student rosters, effective transportation systems, as well as timely delivery of instructional materials. And so with a focus on belonging and operational excellence, we will establish a firm foundation for school success.
Goal number 2 focuses on our cohort-based school improvement work grounded in strong collaboration with ISB and our learning partner, West Ed, as we support schools in designation status and those that are not. Our school improvement plan serves as the backbone for everything we do, which you will continue to see woven throughout this presentation. We take a thoughtful, data-driven approach to assessment, monitoring, and principal leadership as we work to improve outcomes for students. The images reflect what this work looks like in practice. On the left, the Simmons Middle School administrative team is engaged in IAR standards analysis, examining question rigor, and determining what students need, are doing, and have already experienced in relation to statewide grade level learning. On the right, administrators and teacher leaders are developing their school vision tree, the activity that launched their school improvement planning process and established their direction moving forward. Together, these examples highlight how our cohort models build collaboration, clarity, and continuous improvement across our schools.
In Goal 3, we're sustaining data-driven improvements in our schools through the use of an updated school improvement planning template. The current format includes key metrics for each grade level band across the district, priority teaching practices identified by local school improvement teams, cyclical data review processes taking place at a minimum of every 45 days, and data monitoring dashboards for each school. These school improvement plans are truly living documents, undergoing regular review, which result in data-driven adjustments, impacting day-to-day operations of teaching and learning to drive improvements in student achievement in reading and math, as well as building a culture of belonging for all. As we as a district implement this new format and the schools set their improvement plans in motion, we're not only evaluating the progress towards each school's goals, but we are also providing professional development and support to build the capacity of our school leadership teams toward the greater goal of ensuring continuous growth year over year.
Families and community partnerships are critical to our district's success. This year, we've established strong partnerships with Family Community Services, Boys and Girls Club, and Lutheran Child Family Services. We're also teaming up with Wabanzi Community College, Fox Valley Career Center, Kane County Health Department, and these partnerships bring valuable resources and support to strengthen our families and enhance student success. One highlight is our partnership with the Boys and Girls Club. You can see there in the picture, the students are enjoying fun holiday activities. I wish I were there and getting wrapped up like a bunny. That looks really fun. And so that's just one meaningful example of how these partnerships really truly enhance the experience, the learning experience for our students here in East Aurora.
Principal development and collaborative leadership is the goal that supports all other goals. Through various routines and actions, our team, and in a collaborative effort with other departments, strives to build the capacity of each of our school leaders. This takes place during our district's monthly principal meetings, pictured here, with the active engagement of all school principals and the entire superintendent's cabinet, as well as during meetings that bring principals together with their executive director, either in small groups or individually. Providing multiple formats and varied cohorts allows our team to focus on supporting key actions of school improvement plans and district priorities in job-alike groups, while also providing opportunities for individualized support for all leaders throughout the year. Two-way communication and feedback integrated into these targeted coaching and support opportunities guides us in refining and improving how, when, and where we support our school leaders, which in turn helps build the capacity of all leaders across the district.
Goal 6 focuses on continuous school improvement. And while we redesigned our school improvement plan and process, the most important shift has been our mindset about how we approach school improvement as a district. The shining star of this work is our priority teaching practice. It provides every building with a clear, robust instructional focus that brings numeracy, literacy, and a culture for belonging to life. Most importantly, it unifies our staff, regardless of role, around a shared responsibility for improvement. We also ensured that all school sites have strong intentional actions to support our children with disabilities and our English learners. These actions, along with our priority teaching practice, are monitored every 45 days by both site-based and district teams to identify strengths and refine areas of focus. The visual on the right shows the range of priority teaching practices across grade levels in our district. This structure allows us to provide targeted professional learning and resources that directly support each building's instructional priorities. Together, this framework keeps our important improvement work focused, collaborative, and aligned to student success.
Our final goal is focused on cross-department collaboration. We know that the work of the Learning and Leadership Department cannot function without working very closely with every single other department here at the district. And so with this one, it's really focused on ensuring that we are doing the work needed to support our schools and all of our district goals. So as a result, we are creating these cross-department teams that bring together diverse perspectives and expertise to work on those shared priorities. These teams operate within a continuous improvement cycle by using feedback and reflection to refine these practices throughout the year. By intentionally monitoring the impact of these efforts, we can ensure that our collaborative work is directly supporting schools and driving those positive district outcomes that we're all striving for. Thank you for allowing us to present our continuous improvement plan. We're happy to take any questions that you may have.
Question: do you guys monitor like per quarter or per semester?
So with the working with the schools directly, we monitor those school improvement plans for their data analysis cycle every 45 days, looking at that. And then when we meet as a team, we are bringing those up. We bring up our goals when we meet monthly to then make those refinements and improvements. So a good example is goal number 7. That was one that we have really worked to refine as the year has progressed. And when we started with 5 goals, and we built 2 additional goals into the year as the school year has progressed.
Okay, thank you guys. Appreciate the structure.
Thank you, Mr. Simpson and team. Appreciate it. And that concludes my superintendent report. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Moving on to section 5, motion to approve the following consent agenda as listed. Secretary, call the roll, please. Oh, yes.
Motion, so move.
Second.
Any questions? Secretary, call the roll, please.
Yes.
Cefuentes,
Yes.
Olivas,
Yes.
Lache,
Yes.
Moreno,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Reyes.
Yes.
All right, on to Finance and Personnel Committee with Ms. Reyes.
Good evening, everyone. Buenas noches a todos. The Finance and Personnel Committee did not meet earlier this month, so I do not have a report. The next meeting will be held on Monday, February 2nd, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. here at the Administrative Center. And we do have one action item. 6.B.1, motion to approve 2 maintenance mechanics.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Hearing none, Secretary, call the roll, please.
Yes.
Reyes,
Yes.
Olivas,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Moreno,
Yes.
Cefuentes.
Yes.
Valencia.
Yes.
And that's it for FMP.
All right, thank you. Moving on to Curriculum and Programs Committee with Mr. Olivas.
Good evening. I do have the report or the minutes from our December 15, 2025 meeting. During that time, we had 2 school improvement plans, one from Oak Park and one from O'Donnell. Oak Park Schools shared goals to improve literacy and math achievements in preschool and elementary grades, address achievement gaps, reduce chronic absenteeism, and strengthen a sense of belonging through culturally responsive practices and family engagement. At that time, they had a 94.1 daily attendance. O'Donnell School presented data highlighting academic challenges in literacy and math and outlined clear goals to increase student proficiency, improve attendance, reduce discipline referrals, and enhance social emotional support through targeted instruction and restorative practices. They had a daily attendance of 93.60. We also had a presentation from Mr. Simpson about the Resilient Education Center and some programming. The district leadership provided an overview of the winter and spring 2026 rec catalog. featuring enrichment opportunities from January through April 2026. Program focused on art, creative expression, culinary and life skills, and wellness and movement. We also had a presentation on our MTSS process, of multi-tier systems of support. The district review how the MTSS is being used to proactively support students academically, social, emotional, and through attendance initiative. Continue efforts will focus on consistent implementation, data alignment, and collaboration across schools. And we look forward to hearing about the progress of the alignment, shared understanding, and the structural collaboration. Additional updates, we had East Aurora High School request approval to dispose outdated novels that no longer are aligned with the curriculum, and that will be an action item later on today. The district reported 11,733 students enrolled in an average attendance rate of 87.49 as of December 5th, 2025. The meeting was concluded at 6:31 p.m. on December 15, 2025. We also had our curriculum meeting this evening here at the Admin Center at 6 p.m. I will have a report at the next meeting on February 2nd. And our next curriculum meeting will be Tuesday, February 17 at 6 p.m. here at the Admin Center. And I believe we do have an action item. Motion to approve the resolution for disposal of personal property, outdated high school textbooks.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Secretary, call the roll, please.
Olivas.
Yes.
Moreno.
Yes.
Cefuentes.
Yes.
Valencia.
Yes.
Reyes.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
LaShay.
Yes.
And that concludes my fast report. Thank you.
All right, moving on to Building and Grounds Committee with Mr. Lofshay.
We had a Buildings and Ground Committee meeting tonight at 5:30. I will have a report at the next B&G meeting, which is Monday, February 2nd, right here at 6 o'clock. We have no action items, so back to you.
All right, thank you. All right, moving on to executive session for the purpose of discussing student discipline, land acquisition, workers' compensation, pending litigation, negotiations, and the appointment, employment performance compensation, and dismissal of a specific employee.
So move.
Second.
Secretary, call the roll, please.
Reyes.
Yes.
Valencia.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
LaShay.
Yes.
Cefuentes.
Yes.
Olivas.
Yes.
Moreno.
Yes.
And there will be action. Motion to reconvene from executive session.
So move.
Second.
Secretary, call the roll, please.
Valencia.
Yes.
LaShay.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Reyes.
Yes.
Moreno.
Yes.
Cefuentes.
Yes.
Olivas.
Yes.
All right, first motion that I have here is motion to approve the resolution rejecting the resignation of teacher Meheran Maredia.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion on this? Secretary, call the roll, please.
Cefuentes,
Yes.
Valencia,
Yes.
Olivas,
Yes.
Moreno,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Reyes,
Yes.
LaShay.
Yes.
All right, second motion that I have here is motion to approve the recommendation to terminate the assignment of head basketball coach Ronaldo Robinson as discussed in closed session.
So moved.
Second.
Do we have any discussion?
Yes. Does this include his position as teacher's assistant?
It does not. Only as the head coach. Any other discussion? All right, hearing none. Secretary, call the roll, please.
Valencia,
Yes.
Cefuentes,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Olivas,
Based on the evidence presented, yes.
LaShay,
No.
Reyes,
No.
Moreno,
I abstain.
It did pass with 4 yeses. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Secretary, call the roll, please.
Valencia,
Yes.
Cefuentes,
Yes.
Reyes,
Yes.
LaShay,
Yes.
Olivas,
Yes.
Moreno,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
We're adjourned.